I promise you, the coaches will coach better in order because they know they're going to get recognition. You're going to be on national TV. They have all the reason to come in and watch the Cowboys and wax their ass. So I'm telling you right now, you better play like you playing the Super Bowl and do not give up. And if there's anybody that's ready to play on this team, that's why you went to training camp. You took your ass to training camp to make the football team so you can play. So get your ass out there on the field and play. And stop playing around with, I don't know if he should play. Well, hell, if he on the team, he better get his ass out there and play.
That's what I'm talking about. He needs to get his ass out there and play. CeeDee Lamb is signed, sealed, and delivered. As my man Michael Irvin once said, you put pen to paper. That's why you're a Cowboy. So the deal is done. What is up, Cowboys Nation? Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I said it was going to get done by Monday. I predicted it. I tried to tell you guys. I knew most people felt it would, but definitely appreciate everyone for joining the show. As you're rolling in, make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the share. Hit the like button now. You know you're going to like the show, so what the hell are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Don't earn that thumbs up. You should be giving it because you love me. But it was fun, man. Got to do a hype video. Got to get that out of the way. I mean, I'm in the spirit. I'm in the mood. Ain't nobody going to bring me down. No Eagle fan or nothing like that. So I didn't even get things rolling. What's up with you, Jimmy? I left you out in the dark.
Now, wait a minute. First of all, you did a hype video about the fantasy, the league, the Cowboys Cave Fantasy League, and you had to throw it at me about not choking like the Falcons did.
Why,
Now you got to bring it up.
Well, I got to be fair. I got to be fair. So we got the Cowboys Cave Fantasy League. That is done. It is set. The draft order has been done, so I don't want to hear no crying. It was all by the book. That was a sealed popcorn bucket. There was no shenanigans. Mikey was behind the camera. He got the last pick. He was all pissed off. But more importantly, Cowboys Nation, the deal is done. Nobody actually thought 88 wasn't going to be here. I mean, there's no way in hell Jerry wasn't going to get the deal done. But you got to ask yourself why. He got exactly probably what we all figured he was going to get. There really was no big surprise. Why wait so long? Is it they need the attention? Does Jerry need that? Because does this hurt the Cowboys in any way, or is all forgiven? The deal's done. It's business. We move on. What do you
know it is because it played out in social media, and Jerry said some stupid things, and CeeDee kind of bit back a little bit with the Spider-Man, whatever that emoji was.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Whatever it was, he had to bite back a little bit. So there might be a little bit of hurt feelings, but you know what? I think week one, once the ball gets rolling, everything will be forgotten. He's getting paid. If I was getting paid that money, I'd be forgetting about it too.
He's getting paid a very handsome salary to get the job done. And like I said, it's going to get done. It's done. And you don't know what's going to happen with Dak. Does that deal get done this year? But like I said before, Dak is fine playing on this deal. He's got no issues with it. So I got no issues with it. So it doesn't matter. To me, we're moving forward. That's why, I said it in my video, man. Dak don't have an issue. Why the hell should I? He's ready to go. If they want to sign him, great. If not, no big deal. But we watched preseason this last weekend. I think the fans got a little taste of maybe life without Dak, what it could look like. I'm not saying it would, but it's finding top quarterbacks it's not an easy job. There's a lot of misses before you kind of hit it. There isn't, not too many teams have been as fortunate as the Packers have been. Yeah. And what do they got? 2 Super Bowls to show for it in 30 plus years. So even with the great ones, it's not that easy. So, the Falcons, you've kind of dealt with it, in your era. I saw your man Ritter. I think he got cut. I think he didn't even make the cut.
No, Ritter, we traded him for.
No, I'm saying on the team he went to.
Oh, Arizona. Yeah. I'm not surprised. So I want to take a step back because EJ just brought up a point, and I was going to ask you about this. I was going to, ask Mike Tag what he thought with the money spent today. Is there going to be enough money to pay Dak?
Well, they restructured the deals like that. I mean, I don't know how the deal for CD is been structured, how much cap room it clears up, because he was on that 5th-year option, which was an accelerated amount. So I don't know if they brought that cap number down, stretch it out over years. I've been the man right here. I work, man. I got a job, so I couldn't study the contract, didn't get a chance to read the T's and C's, kind of see how it's laid out. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get a little bit more time to research it, but hopefully one of the fine people in our chat has done their due diligence of research and knows how it's laid out. But typically you kind of backload stuff, you kind of free up some money, move it around a little bit. And I don't think they'd have any issues, because you got to remember, Dak's cap hit this year is very high. You restructure Dak, you're going to bring that number down and spread it out over the length of the contract. So it can get done. Make no mistake about it. You know what I'm saying? So
make no mistake about it, Mike Tag.
and here's the thing. If they don't re-sign Dak, which again, I'm well past it, because if Dak don't care, I don't care. He won't be back next year. That'll be mark the tape at 7:06, because if it gets into a bidding war, the Cowboys are going to lose, and the Cowboys are going to come back and they're going to say, we wanted them. We just couldn't compete with what was out there. It would have hurt the franchise long-term if we were able to sign them. So that's the part that, is going to happen. So you just got to see what happens. You just got to see what happens and let things play out. But if they don't re-sign him, this is more than likely Dak's last year in Dallas, no matter what happens.
No matter what?
No matter what. Because the Raiders will pay him. The Giants will pay him. These teams aren't going to, you don't find top 5, top 6 quarterbacks, they don't fall out of trees and they don't become free agents very often. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what my thing is like you said, the Trey Lance experiment, I think is what's that?
There may not be. I mean, Cuts is making a good point. I'm in heavy contract negotiations, Jimmy. You're my agent. I don't know that we're probably far apart from the new hype man at AT&T. Michael Irvin's got playmakers. Maybe he's too busy to go on the Jumbotron. So I know you're talking to Jerry about getting your boy on the Jumbotron. Maybe not, Jimmy. Maybe he is. Jimmy, did I lose you? Guys, do you see Jimmy? Is he frozen or is it me? Help me out. Maybe Jimmy didn't like my humor. Jimmy? Are you talking? Jimmy froze. Get his ass out of here. Jimmy, if you unfreeze yourself, come back. But hey, seriously, Cowboys Nation, how are you feeling? Did anyone have any doubts? Did anyone think this was going to actually linger and go on to drag out past week 1 or before week 1 or something like that? There is no way this was going to happen. So I knew it. I felt it was going to be Monday. So I said, you know what? I'm going to hang around close to home just in case the boys got to drop a hype video. I didn't even change. I had my work clothes. This is the way we do it. And so I'm just happy the Cowboys are focused on that. So it is definitely a lot less stressful. And I don't want to say stressful because we knew it, but it's just one less thing that we had to worry about. It's one less thing that we got to deal with. So I think the Cowboys getting that deal done is it. Now, what I would ask you is, I know Ultra is standing by it. Do you guys think Dak Prescott gets done? And I appreciate you guys being proud of me. I always want to make sure you guys are happy. I take constructive criticism. I read the comment cards. You guys said it was a little off-centered. I went ahead and said, you know what? I know it is. I've been too lazy, too busy, so I fixed it. So I appreciate all you guys for giving me the comments and letting me know what's going on. But back to Dak Prescott. Do you guys think that the Cowboys are going to sign Dak Prescott this week, or do you think it's going to be pretty much just let it ride, let the chips fall where they may? We got Francisco. You got it. Now, Francisco, are you my man in the Cowboys Cave fantasy football league? I want to make sure I got all my guys right because I went to tag people and I couldn't. So let me know. Let me know. Chips are falling. So Dak is just going to kind of go out. Jimmy, you froze on me. I'm very disappointed.
No, I almost had go ahead.
No, it's
Internet problems.
Okay. Based on the performance, most likely. Based on his performance, I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy, I mean, he's put up numbers. I know you guys want to throw all these playoffs on him, but geez, I mean, God.
Who talking about, Dak?
Yes. Oh my God. Deal done by Friday? No, sir. Oh, you're not. All right. So that isn't the Francisco in our league. I got to figure out who Francisco is. We got a Francisco in the Cowboys Cave League, and I just can't find the person that we put in there. So I got work to do. I've been trying to figure it out all day. He will spend the money on elite wide receiver if not having a QB after this year. Yes, I agree. Why is he going to spend the money on CeeDee and then bring in somebody?
Right.
Lance performance didn't push the needle, especially after Dak's 2 playoff games. I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what the hell he means by that. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but
the whole point is that you guys have to be, you're playing with fire. You're gonna end up. You got no Trey Lance is out. He looked horrible, right? So you come to the end of the season. I don't, because I haven't looked, but who the hell is up as a free agent quarterback next season, right? So that's where you'd be at.
Yeah, this is what could happen, and this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna end up. Well, what's up, Carl? Sorry, Jimmy, you're back at it, so go ahead and handle it.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, sir.
This is what you're gonna end up, and that's fine. If this is what like I said, man, I'm a fan of the start. Dak leaves, you're either gonna end up with a rookie, or you're gonna end up with a journeyman. You're gonna end up with Kirk Cousins, who potentially, if the Falcons, whatever happens there. If Kirk Cousins starts out slow, Penix comes in there, he lights it up. Kirk Cousins goes to the bench, he's going to get cut. That's what you're going to end up with, probably that kind of quarterback. And if you're fine with it, okay. And so I think it's a bad idea. I just think it's a bad idea for them to do that. But you're not going to draft a quarterback in the top round, top part of the round, because barring any catastrophic injury, you're going to be picking in the 20s or 30, whatever the Cowboys end up being. They'll be in the playoffs. So, and it's, you're going to end up with one of those guys. Now, maybe you're good with it. And maybe you end up with Daniel Jones, because the Giants would be the Giants would make a run at him, and we end up with Daniel Jones. They get Dak Prescott, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Well, okay, now I think EJ brought up a good point. If Dak goes, McCarthy probably goes with him.
Oh, I think,
right.
And I like McCarthy, and I think that's a big mistake too. I think that would be a bad mistake, because I like McCarthy. I think what he's done, with this team, why he doesn't have an extension. He's another one. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you look at it, you look at some of these organizations, and I was talking to a Steelers fan over the weekend at my daughter's football game. She didn't play football, but she cheered at it. And I was a Steeler fan with me, and it's like, Mike Tomlin's been there forever, right? And he's won 1 Super Bowl, but they've always been good. But they haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. And that kind of, it blows me away, because I never think of the Steelers that way. It's like, man, they, you just don't think of it. And, and I just say careful what you wish for, if that's what you're hoping for. And I know there's there's a percentage of people who just hate Dak Prescott for whatever reason it is. I don't know. For whatever reason, you're going to, careful what you wish for. And maybe, all you look for is opportunity in the playoffs. I don't know. It's very hard to win a championship. I mean, how many teams have won one? How many teams have not won one? How many teams have won multiple ones? It's really not that many. So it's very difficult. And all you can ask for is opportunity. And the Cowboys have had opportunity. Now, they haven't taken advantage of it, but they've had opportunity. And they have, I like having opportunity. I'd rather have opportunity than no opportunity.
That's right.
Because the best teams don't always win. The best teams don't always win the Super Bowl. The best teams don't always go to the Super Bowl. It's just, it's the finality of the playoffs is like nothing nothing else. It's not best of 7 like in basketball and baseball. So I don't know, man. Just careful what you wish for.
And it's funny to talk about Pittsburgh. Word on the street is Russell Wilson's going to be the starter.
I think he will. I don't think he'll stay the starter because I was talking with them about that, and they think Russell Wilson's going to start. They said Fields is been a little erratic there. I don't know. I don't really follow the Steelers, but I think he'll end up being the starter, and then we'll see what happens. And I did see something on about Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook isn't going to be the game changer for this running game. I mean, if you're going to get Dalvin Cook, you might as well just cut Zeke or cut Rico, because I don't know if you're really gaining anything, right?
No, I don't think. I think it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. And you know what? You never know what you're getting. Saquon Barkley's hurt already again. Yeah. Eagles fan. I don't know if you know that. The Eagles fans. I don't know if they know that, but good thing you didn't sign him. He's hurt every year, right? Let that be the Eagles' problem. He's a great running back, but he's hurt every year. Oh, you know what? You stick with Zeke, and I can't see picking up Dalvin Cook to run with Zeke.
To me, it doesn't make sense. And I think with the I like Carl, but cowgirl. That's to me, it's like when people say Sheagles. It's kind of like pretty. I don't want to say it's pretty lame, but I guess it's pretty lame. Is that am I saying that? Is that okay for me to say that?
Yeah, you're okay. It's okay.
It's dumbest freaking comment. It's so tired and so dumb. Like I hear Sheagles, I hear cowgirls. It's so freaking stupid.
That's some first grade shit, man.
Yeah, it's kind of when people make those comments, and again, Carl, nothing against you because I like it. They are the ones that just have nothing. Like that's like the easy, low hanging fruit to go to. That's like, oh, it's so played out. I could just do that. I like a little bit more creativity. If you want to be creative, if you're going to crack on the team, just be creative when you do it. If you want to crack on their name or crack on the city just be creative when you do it. Don't be stupid. That's just,
you know what? You tell them, don't be filth.
Oh, and Mark, don't be upset. Don't be upset. You had, we have a level of excellence that we have in the cave. You understand what I just said? A level of excellence. And when you go in and you make a mockery of our fantasy football league by the way you drafted, I can't allow it. Jimmy, he was the one who made the final call. So if you got a problem, you go to Jimmy, because Jimmy was the one. He was the judge, jury, and executioner. He said, Mark's got to go. I don't like his style and picking every Cowboy. It just wasn't fun. And plus, I think he might have beat you with all the Cowboys.
I think he did. that might have swayed my decision a little bit.
But we love Mark. We love Mark.
Mark's the best. He's a man of his word.
We're trying to get championships here in the cave for our fantasy football league. So we had to up the ante. We brought in some serious players. Some serious competitors. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think with our offensive line, I think we got a more physical offensive line. I think they're going to be able to move people. And, we may not run for 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, but all you need is about 4 to 5 yards a clip. And that's just moving it. That's just moving the pile. And I think that's what this team can do. And that's what I expect. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know about bringing an older running back. If they were to bring in a younger guy, like if one of these young guys get cut, then I would be like, you know what? I could dig that. But
I can dig it.
I can dig. We just don't want.
And then you know what? You guys can be jealous of the Falcons because we got 2 starting running backs on our team. Tyler Algier and Bijan would start at any team in the league.
Well, drop Algier and give us him. You're gonna cut him? You guys cutting him?
No.
Or I even like someone in the chat didn't see it. Make Trey Lance a running back. And I think what they do. All kidding aside, Trey Lance has some athletic ability. I'm not saying but I would use him in situations. I would use him as kind of like, remember Cordell Stewart, remember slashed, because he is athletic, he can move, and again, people are shitting on him, and I'm not going to be that one. I don't think he's trash. I think he's a young quarterback who's had no reps. I mean, he had 101 or whatever pass attempts in the 3 games, something like that. I don't know the exact number. And he's never had that. He's probably, I don't know if he's had a three game stretch like that in 4 years. You know what I mean? He didn't play his senior year. You got to remember the COVID year, and then I think he was kind of hurt or something happened one year. It's like his last full season of playing football, I think, was his senior year of high school. I mean, he's a raw talent, and he showed flashes. Now, can they develop that and make him into something? I don't know. I mean, he's 24. He still was younger than 2 of the quarterbacks that were drafted this year, and he's going in his, he's in his 4th year. So he's a young guy. I don't know, I don't know what the future is for him, but he showed some flashes, and he showed obviously some bad plays and some bad decisions and some things that you're not going to do as a starting quarterback. I mean, you're throwing picks against guys who are
backups.
You know what I mean? So that's the problem.
Hey, Carl, you know what? The Eagles are going nowhere fast this year, so you might just want to stop right there. Okay.
They won 1 Super Bowl. You believe that, Jimmy?
One.
Like 1 pork chop.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but hey, you just see what happens. But I mean, I don't know. We'll get it. My man Doug took care of that, and so everyone throws picks. Ultra, everyone throws picks. Everyone throws them. So I don't know, why we're talking about Dak Prescott. Go look at his interception percentage against the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and I guarantee you, he's probably top 5 all-time lowest interception percentage. If not all-time, 100%, he's top 5 of the active quarterbacks. But I would almost bet top 5 all-time lowest interception percentage. So that's weak. Come on, come better than that. You are better than that. Talk about his interception in a playoff game like no one's thrown one. But also talk about all the points the defense gives up too. It works both ways. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but that's another tired argument of throwing everything on Dak Prescott. If you come to me and say, you know what, he just doesn't have the look. He doesn't have that eye. He doesn't have that big game just feel about him. I can accept that, and I can't. I can't
have that eye, the tiger, man, the edge.
I mean, you're not going to get a big argument from me there. But because he threw an interception in a playoff game, I mean, I saw Patrick Mahomes doing it in the Super Bowl. I've seen plenty of quarterbacks doing it. It is what it is. But you also have to have the other side of the ball that is going to do something about it. And the other side of the ball, when you're leaving guys 15 yards wide open, going for touchdowns on every single drive, I mean, that does something to your morale too. I mean, it works both ways. So anyway, I digress.
So I wanted to ask you, I saw the Preston Pearson home run interview. Loved it. I haven't seen since then. If you brought up Deron Bland getting hurt, how does that affect you?
Well, and again, for all you guys who missed the Preston Pearson, excellent. I mean, what a sharp guy. I mean, he's going to be almost 80. And he played, and people don't know, he played in Super Bowl III with the Colts, that lost to the Jets.
Yeah.
And, all the way through, he played in 3 decades. Not many players. I know Larry Cole's done it on the Cowboys, but not many players have played in 3 decades. That's pretty cool. But, Deron Bland getting hurt sucks. It's not anything that, that you'd want to see. I think the Cowboys have the depth. They're going to go with youth. I mean, they're going to have to go with youth. So it's just a matter of if Carson can step up as a rookie and hold it down. And that's what he's got to do. He's just got to hold it down. Looking at their schedule, they're a couple games they might be in trouble, but most of their games he's probably not going to come back till after the bye, which would then be San Francisco, which is probably when you really, really want him. But we'll see what happens. But it's a game, right? It's next man up, man. You got to do it. there's not much out there to sign at this point. I know Patrick Peterson's name has been thrown around, and he's a veteran. I mean, he could bring us some stability, but you're not getting the Patrick Peterson, of old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not the guy in Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a killer. These guys getting these, and granted, like I said, he's coming back at some point in the season, but guys getting hurt, season-ending injuries in preseason, or Rondell Moore, he got hurt in reps, not even in a game, because we weren't even playing our starters in the preseason games, and it's tough when that happens in the preseason. That's why I'm glad they shortened it to 3 games.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Uncle Cheech didn't pick any games. He's going to be on in a few minutes. So he has not done his games, but we will say, like we said with Uncle Cheech, we are going to be doing his lock of the week. And his lock of the week, we're going to be doing a drawing. Every week, we're going to pick somebody in the chat for lock of the week. And you're going to be the representative guy. Now, if the lock wins, your name's going to go in the hat. And then at the end of the year, whatever money has been accumulated by this lock of the week, and he was pretty damn good with his locks of the week, we're going to do a 50-50. So the cave keeps 50 and you're going to get 50. So if let's just say he went 17-0, you're looking at $1,700. Divide that by 2. Broward County education sounds like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we will see how it goes. So when Uncle Cheech comes on and he gives your lock, all I need you to do is just type in lock. If you type in lock, I'm going to kind of see it, and I'm going to write the names down. And then what I'll do is I will randomly pick a name, and then we'll see how it goes. Or what I'll do is I will assign here's what I'll do so it's fair. We want to keep everything fair. I'll assign them a number, and then Jimmy, I'll give you a number between 1 and whatever, whether it be 1 and 5, 1 and 10, 1 and 15,
Okay.
And whatever number you pick, I'm going to randomize it on the sheet. Whatever name you pick, number you pick, the name going with it will do it. So
perfect.
Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
Okay.
Works for me.
Works for you. So let's go ahead and, we had our college football weekend, Florida State, which a lot of people came up to me and said, man, Mike, you got to be pumped up, man. Florida State lost. I said this was a game that they shouldn't have played. You don't play games overseas because you just give up too much. There's too many variables. You're traveling, you're out of your element. And I said, just be careful of that one. And unfortunately, Florida State lost. I wanted them to win. I want them to be undefeated when Miami plays them because it means something. It means a little bit more. So they didn't look good. I've never liked DJ, their quarterback. They transferred. He was from Clemson. Then he went somewhere else. Then he went back. Now he's at Florida State. Any quarterback that bounces around too much gets me worried. And I just never was a fan of him, even at Clemson. So they lost. So that was kind of like our big upset to kick the college football season off. Now we have a ton of picks and games this weekend. So we got to bring in Uncle Cheech. We got to bring in my man, Uncle Cheech. Where is he at? Let me see. He has got his intro music. We got to do it right.
Good.
Now, hopefully we got this right with Uncle Cheech. Uncle Cheech, are you there?
I'm here.
There we go. We got it. Now we're a little
Cheech.
worried because we had some issues before, but we want to make sure we got it. I just want to try one thing and see if we can get that a little better. No, I don't like the way it looks. We're gonna go back. Hold on, Uncle Cheech. Hold on. There we go. We'll get this thing bowling back. So, all right, Uncle Cheech, what happened?
Uncle Cheech, what's up?
What's up?
There we go.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
Yep.
So,
What's happening, guys?
So what is going on? We got, what did you think? I know you didn't pick the game. You kind of said you didn't study the game. You're like, hey, Florida State's a better team, whatever. But what did you see in that game? Were there things that's like, man, this is going to be one of those college football seasons? Or did that look like an unprepared team in Florida State?
Well, I'll agree with you on that. Mike Norvell took an unprepared team to the slaughterhouse.
Oh, it's terrible.
They couldn't stop the run. And I agree with you on the quarterback. The quarterback play was average at best. Defense couldn't stop anybody.
just yeah. Before, I used to be able to call Bobby up and get a little inside information on the team. You know, how do you pass defense, your running game, this and that. I don't know Mike, so they didn't look good at all, and I hope it stays that way.
I'm sure Mike knows you, Uncle Cheech.
Eh?
I'm sure Mike knows you.
Oh, he will.
He better get his stuff together. Yeah, I saw he was 2-8 without his quarterback from last season. So I mean, you know, he's got some work to do. The Seminole Nation is not happy. They're very angry in their chat. They just wanted everybody's head to roll. So, and we're just getting this season started. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun college football season, 12-team playoff.
They just won 10 games. National champion contenders already, and they want the guy's head.
Yeah, they want his head, man. You know, it's big money. This is big. This is business, big business. I would say this is I got your sleepers for the NFL. Repeat who the sleepers you had for college football. Did you have any team that you're going to say, hey, guys, keep an eye maybe on one or two teams that might come from unknown to make a little noise?
Well, I think Boise State could come in out of the outside five there, and Miami could sneak in there. We'll see after Saturday if they're a contender or pretender.
It's going to be, you're going to find out real quick.
We brought in a lot of players out of the portal, so we'll see.
Well, and I was talking to some friends who aren't fans of Miami. They're more like Auburn, Alabama, Georgia. And, you know, they were surprised. They're like, man, Miami's playing this weekend. They're playing Florida at the Swamp. And that's not an easy place to play. But you kind of even saw it with Florida State. You got another quarterback coming in. Miami didn't lose a ton of people, but they got a lot through the transfer portal. They got a new starting running back. They got a new quarterback. They got some new offensive linemen. They got some defensive guys that came over. I mean, do you think that they can gel quickly? I mean, you're going up against an SEC team, a formidable opponent, a rival, the whole big thing.
They better gel quickly because this is the first game, so they don't have time to gel.
You wish they would have played a cupcake. No cupcake starting it out.
It doesn't. The first week is always the toughest to pick a team. Always. Yeah. I don't care where it is. Because I like Florida State, but you go by what the experts say and this and that, but nobody saw anybody play yet.
Yeah.
This time I get a chance with the TV system I got. I can scope every team that's playing, so I can look at them firsthand and assess my decisions in the future. But first week you haven't seen anybody, so experts can say all they want. You look at last year, but Florida State's not the same team, different quarterback. I was really surprised they got handled that easily.
I mean, they gashed him.
When he went by 3 or 300, don't make no difference.
No.
LSU, and it's a conference loss.
Yeah.
On top of it.
Yeah.
Beat him to death inside of 3/4.
No. So, well, let's get the thing rolling. We got our first game, and you got North Dakota at Colorado. And you're taking Colorado laying the 9.5 to get this season started.
I gave this one a lot of thought. But the press in Colorado, they've been all over Prime if you've been watching any sports shows. He's having a big feud with a reporter out there, and he's kind of attacking him personally and this and that. That's the only reason I took this game. I think he's going to want to stick it to him, and he'll run it up if he can.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't bet my house on this, but what I'm saying is if he can stick it to him, he's going to. Because they really attacked him personally and really didn't go after his program. It made references to him, this, that, So anyway, that's why I'm going to take Colorado. Give it a 9.5.
All right. Well,
I'll
that's
give
not-
more points in college, just to clarify things. I'll give more points in college than I ever would the pros.
Yeah.
Because they'll run it up for style points without blinking an eye. So
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I think Colorado's got to start off strong. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game to get, like you said, you just don't know what to expect, but I expect Colorado to get that thing going. Plus, yeah, of course, you got some U representation. You got Warren Sapp there with the D line. Ed Reed's been out there. So,
yeah, that's fine.
bringing in some
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Can't have too many Canes.
I've tried to tell the Cowboys that. They don't want to listen to me. I've told them that. All right. This one's interesting because it goes about what you're saying is you're not afraid to give this many points, but giving this many points on the road. Virginia Tech, I know they're one of my sleeper teams. 13.5 given to Vandy. What's your thoughts behind this one?
Virginia Tech, they got almost all their starters coming back.
Yeah.
They weren't that bad last year, and I think Vandy. So I think Virginia Tech should handle them pretty easily. I think they'll cover.
Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be that's a lot of points on the road. But like you said,
not in college.
College. Yeah.
you're a little bit more lenient, as they say, to do it. So this is your upset. And we always want to preface the upset. I want to let you kind of preface that because I don't want people thinking that run out and drop your house payment on the upset because you think you're going to win something. You want to say something about it?
Virginia Tech played them pretty close last year on the road. Then the second half, things got out of hand. But I think West Virginia at home, I don't know if they'll win, but they can keep it close enough to cover the spread.
Yeah.
That's
now, when you say upset, I want to be clear with people. This is kind of like, what would you consider? This isn't your guarantee. Go run out and bet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't bet on it unless it's for fun. Unless you're only betting a few dollars. The game you bet heavy money on is the lock.
Okay.
These other games are for kicks. A few bucks here, a few bucks there. But don't get out of hand.
Yeah. We don't want to see nobody ended up in the gutter, any of that. So now this is where we need you guys. If you want to be entered in the competition, you simply just type lock in the chat. And if this lock hits, you're in the running. You're in the running for the pot. Now, if it doesn't, you're out. And we're probably out because this is the first game. Not to put pressure on Uncle Cheech, but he's going heavy, which he said he's not afraid to do. Clemson at Georgia being played in Atlanta, at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, the home of the Atlanta Falcons, laying 13.5 against Clemson. Talk about this game.
I picked Georgia as my lock at least 4 or 5 times last year. We're not betting hard. We're not betting your favorite team. You want to bet the team that's going to win, the team that's going to make you money. Whether you like Georgia, hate Georgia, college team, you like a pro team, Georgia has always done well with me. Like I said, I used them 4 or 5 times, and they covered each time. Each time. You can play them all year. I mean, as long as the spread don't get too big. But that's what happens. It gets up to 35, 40 points. But if it looks realistic to you, take Georgia every time. And they're going to win this game. They're going to blow them out. They're not happy the way the season ended last year for them. Even though Alabama has, I think, what's the coach here that just retired? He's got a winning record against the student, Kirby Smart.
Oh, yeah, with Saban. Yeah.
But you can take Georgia to the bank. What do you mean Italian or Irish? What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, he's
an Irish flag back there.
He's a different animal.
How many Irishmen do you know Cheech?
Well, that guy's definitely not Italian. That guy's definitely not Italian.
Not a paisan.
All right. So, hey, again, just to be clear, if you guys put lock as a comment lock in there if you want to be entered. I don't care if there's 5 people in there, 4 people, 10 people, 20 people, 30. You guys are entered. Chuck, you are entered. You are entered. So right now, you are the man. So we're going to let it roll for a few minutes, and then we're going to cut it out. And those in, we're going to draw your name, and those out will you get nothing. And whoever's in is going to be in the running. The top prize, because, actually, do we do the locks, Cheech, during the playoffs or just the regular season?
I don't remember.
I think it was just regular season. I think it was just regular season.
Regular season. So if Uncle Cheech goes 17-0, then you got basically you're going to split $1,700 with your boy. So whatever the record ends up being, we're going to get going. So right now we got Chuck, Drew, we got Falk, we got Carl. Did I miss anybody else? Because we're just going to run it for another minute. And then if not, it's one of you guys. I'll randomly put the number, and you guys are in the running to win a share of $1,700, which is pretty good. We got Moose in there.
Well, I don't know. Is Moose just being a smart ass?
No, he said lock.
Lock should be Florida versus Florida straight up. All right.
Yeah. Should be Florida straight. He thinks Florida's going to beat Miami's favorite.
I don't care what he thinks.
You know what?
I told that 100 times. I don't pick my team.
We have rules around it. We don't pick our teams because
I'm not allowed to pick a Cowboy game. I'm not going to pick a Hurricane game.
Yeah.
I'm not putting the heebie-jeebies on my squad.
You don't want to Eddie Mush him.
We can't.
That's right.
Do it. So
don't want to be Eddie Mush or whatever the hell the guy's name was. I don't want to be Mush.
Okay. All right. So there we go. First of all, it's $100. That's what it is. God, why does SoCal he just drives me insane sometimes. I think he does it on purpose. Do you think he does it on purpose?
Yes.
What's that?
Yes, he loves breaking balls.
I know. I just like it's like there's always that one in the chat. He's like been that one, and it's fun for like 5 minutes, but then it gets kind of old. I do love him. I mean, it's nothing personal. It's like it's normal. It's just
you don't pay attention.
I know. I can't help it. This isn't business. This isn't my business. All right. So we've got Chuck, Drew, Falk, Carl, Moose, and Cuts. So those are my locks. Those are my guys who are locked in for the competition. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to move it around. And I'm going to just I'm going to randomly pick the numbers because we're going to do this now. This is how we do it. So, Jimmy, I'm asking for 1 to 6. 1 to 6. Give me a number 1 to 6, and this will be the winner.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what my draft pick is. My draft slot in the upcoming draft, number 3.
All right, number 3. So I'll be right there. I don't know if you can see it. Moose is number 3. Moose. You are the week 1. You are in the running to split whatever prize is left. Whatever the prize is left, that is what you're going to split. I am going to do I'm going to bet it on my Hard Rock app. So you guys will know that it's done. It's official. And we are going to lay this thing down and we're going to see what happens. So Uncle Cheech, what else? Is there any other games like the Notre Dame Texas A&M game? I mean, any thoughts on that?
I'll give you picks off the record. I like what do you call it? Texas A&M in that game. It's a tough place to play. I don't know about Notre Dame's true, but Texas. What's that? College Station. That's
College Station ain't easy. I've been there.
A tough place to play, and I'll take Texas A&M in that game.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be
Cal, another game to look at. Southern Cal and LSU. Tough one to pick. Lincoln Riley, his job is he's on the hot seat right now. They both lost their star quarterback, so it should be an interesting game. I'm going to go with LSU on that one too.
No, you're not afraid. I was looking through the schedule just to see what else is out there. I'm going to have to put my old man glasses.
I don't duck big games. Let that be understood. I ain't going to pick these Appalachian State and all this other crap.
Uncle Cheech is going big time. What about Oklahoma and same old Temple, 43 and a half?
Same old Temple, 45 points. I'll take same old Temple and whatever it is.
Yes.
45 or something like that. I'll take 45 against anybody.
Absolutely. All right.
Same old
All right. I took Georgia. $100. So that is in the running.
You take that to the bank. Georgia's got a good team. Clemson, I told you they didn't use the portal. For some reason, he won't use the portal.
He won't use it. So
that's going to come back to eat them alive. They'll destroy Clemson.
Well, yeah, we're going to see what happens. I'm Clemson in my college football league, and they let me down against Florida State. I give props to Spoonie, my man Spoonie. We had a battle. I was up 27-7 and blew, absolutely choked away. Maybe some will say, I'm not going to say Jimmy's team because I don't want to get mad at me. I'll just say maybe Cowboy, but we never choked away Victor. We just kind of started off slow. But we had a terrible showing, and I lost to him by I went for a 2-point conversion. My guy dropped it right in the end zone, right in his hands. He dropped it. Yeah. I lost the game, and
Mike, you stutter stepped. You dropped the ball.
Oh, it was so aggravating. There's
a lot of good games on this week, first week. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. I got some big heavy hitters. Uncle Cheech is coming up for the Gator game. We got one of the biggest whales in South Florida, a heavy donor with the Canes.
I heard he's coming up.
He's coming up.
I'm looking forward to it.
And the thing is, I said, are you driving? How long is it? He goes, I don't drive. I said, yeah, because you understand, I'm an icon at the I'm flying. He went ahead and started a plane up. He ain't sparing no expense. We're going to have the ribeyes out there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, wait a minute.
Cowboys Cave. And we'll be taking some videos. We'll be taking some pictures. And
I got a question about the game.
What's up?
Speaking of whales, is our Gators friend the big whale? Is he going to show up and represent?
He's going straight to. He's passing Tampa and heading up to Gainesville. So he doesn't want to be around. It's going to be all Canes here.
I tell you what, in Gainesville they locked up all the buffets. They're closing down for the weekend. They want no part of that.
They see him walking in, they start closing all the windows.
They put the hurricane shutters down.
It's going to be a good time. So, Uncle Cheech, we will see you Wednesday night. You're going to come back in case something changes. Injuries, you never know. But we'll get you back in Wednesday, get your thoughts maybe on some other stuff in the NFL.
Okay, guys.
All righty.
Have a good night.
Grazie mille.
All righty.
Migliore. You know, I don't want to get off on this tangent about.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Go on a tangent.
No. About this Little League. Did you see it was like a walk-off bunt?
It was a walk-off bunt. It was our our Florida team. The bunt, bad throw, guy scores from second, game over. Hey, the Americans, the USA kids win. I'm happy.
They took care of all family business.
The craziest thing was Engelberg stealing home. I don't know if you saw. He stole home. That was awesome. I loved it. And against Texas, again,
yes. Game. No, but that was a look at ball. Like I said, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but that was a ballsy call. And look what happened. You know, they panicked.
Dude, it paid off.
Yes.
You know how it is in baseball. It's the same thing in any sport. You change the momentum. You kind of, then things start snowballing, and that's what happens. That's what happens. So it was really cool to see. Happy for those kids, and definitely deserved it. And you hate to see a team lose, especially in that, but you lose and you're getting a life lesson. I mean, there's got to be winners. There's got to be losers. I've never been a fan of the generation of we don't keep score and everyone gets the same size trophy and all that kind of stuff. That's just not my style. I took plenty of ass whoopings on the wrestling mat in high school, and I didn't cry about it. And you take it like a man, and you become better for it as you get on to life. So
it's like my Dominic, my kid, who produced a show when we first started a couple years. He had a hockey showcase this weekend. His team got rolled this weekend. I'm like, dude, you know what you do? You go back, you practice your ass off, and you win next weekend.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And yeah, awesome for the USA. And Chuck, I talked a little bit about it earlier. Dalvin Cook, I just if they do it, it's like, is it gonna make me bust through the door and drop a hype video? No. Is it okay? I don't really. I think they missed a boat on getting someone in the offseason. They could have got someone in the offseason, or they could have drafted a running back. They chose not to. They feel good with what they have, and at the end of the day, they're on the field, they're in their locker room, they're with them every day. They probably know something that I don't, or we don't, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I don't know.
So what are we talking?
That's like Cooks and Zeke.
So where we're at now, I mean, what are we looking at? We kind of talked about it. I don't think much has changed since we talked about our predictions.
Well, what I wanted to do is, now the dust is settled, right? The preseason is done. We still got a couple weeks. You've got a lot of these teams, and love to get some interaction from you guys in the chat of what you feel. I mean, who do you think? Who's the top? Who's your favorites? I threw the teams out there. You've got the Eagles, you got the Cowboys, obviously the Niners in Detroit. Those are the easy ones. Who are we missing? Is there someone missing? Packers. I know the Packers name. Obviously, they play well. Atlanta is a young team. Not young because they got Kirk Cousins, but they're a younger team that's kind of added some veteran pieces to it. And possibly going to make some noise in the South. You still got Tampa Bay that won the division. Who are the teams that you think are out there? Atlanta, obviously, there's one Atlanta. So
look, now I'm going to start with Atlanta, obviously, I'm honest about my team, but it depends on Kirk Cousins. How does the Achilles hold up? But man, certainly Pitts. When Pitts had we don't have Mariota, we don't have Ritter, we don't have Heineke, we have none of that crap. When Pitts was playing under Matty Ice, look at his numbers. We got a quarterback similar to Matty Ice now. So you already got Pitts. You got London. We got two stellar running backs. I know Moore got hurt, but we got Mooney, another good receiver. I think, and look what we did on defense. We beefed up on defense. I think we're going to make a run at it. We have veteran leadership. We'll see what happens. I think the Eagles, man, I don't know what happens to them. You look at them and look look how they finished off last season. They spiraled out of control. Not only that, they had crap going on, with the whole security guard, all that crap. I mean, they had drama off the field, drama on the field. So what do they do? Where do they come back? How do they bounce back? Detroit, they should have been in the Super Bowl. They had high school play calling in the fourth quarter.
San Francisco was who they thought they were. I mean, really?
Right. Exactly. So,
finish it. You didn't even finish it.
No, I know. You get
let him off the hook.
I
had to do it. How can you not say that? Not do that next?
Because I was looking at the comments. Chuck, the Lions will be good, but the question is, do they bounce back from such a letdown? Right. The 49ers, in my opinion.
Well, let's break it. So the Eagles, they've got the talent, right? I mean, they do. They're a talented football team. The X factor that you got to watch is going to be Kellen Moore and how him and Hurts can coexist. How his offense is going to fit in there, right? So that's kind of where they are. Would you agree or disagree?
Yes, okay. I agree. But it's not only how Kellen Moore and him jive together, but again, they're coming off a hangover just like Detroit is.
Yeah.
So
that now you go to San Francisco. So you look at San Francisco. They got Purdy. I mean, they've been to the Super Bowl. They got CMC. They, Ayuk, see how that goes. Is he disgruntled? Yeah. Is he going to be fine? Is it, that'll play itself out. The thing I think that would worry me with them is I think there's so much on CMC, and if he gets hurt, just like I'm sure every team, but him in particular on that team, I think he's the engine of that team. And he's on the cover of Madden. We all know there's a little bit of a Madden jinx sometimes.
Yeah, the jinx. Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you see with San Francisco? Do you see any weak spots with them? Do you see any concerns with them?
No, not at all. Except for like you said, injuries. You never know. Every team's going to get injuries. They are and I hate to say it because I'm a Falcons fan. I want us to take care of our business, but San Francisco is the best team in the NFC, and probably they could be better than the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean,
this season.
I don't know if I'd say better than the Chiefs as long as you got Mahomes. I mean, it's hard for me to say anyone's better than them, but you can't argue. Now you look at Detroit, and I mean, you guys in the chat, I didn't really see a lot of people saying Detroit. I don't think I saw too many Detroit. Are you buying into Detroit? Are you buying? They had a really good year. They had that. They kind of took some teams by surprise a little bit, right? They took some teams by surprise. They're not going to be taking anyone by surprise now. They're going to be in their division, right? Green Bay is better. Chicago could be better. Minnesota's probably going to take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you see Detroit? Can they repeat what they did, or do you think they take a little bit of a step back? And what I mean by that, it's not that they won't make the playoffs, but they're not going to be, way up there. It's going to be more of a dogfight.
It could be like Houston, right? They came out of left field.
Yeah.
The question is, do they take that step back? And I think they do. Yeah. And don't underestimate Green Bay. I hate to say it.
We'll get to. And
I think
I want to say Trent Williams, great pickup, Drew. He is another guy that if something, God forbid, were to happen to him, that's a lot of problems. But, and then we don't want to have any bias. I don't know if you can talk openly about Atlanta and give some constructive criticism, if you will. What do you see with the Falcons? Do you think they can really take that step up? Now, they got Kirk Cousins, he's had some success. He's one of those guys that he's had a lot of success in the playoffs. But the weird thing with him is primetime games in the regular season, not success in the playoffs. If I screwed up my words. But in primetime games in the playoffs, he hasn't been the best, and he hasn't performed the best. What's your thoughts on Atlanta? Do you think they can take that next step up? Do you think they can be Detroit? Last year's Detroit, do you think Atlanta can be that?
I think so. And it all depends on a healthy, quarterback, right? If he doesn't stay healthy and Penix ends up in, obviously that changes the entire dynamic, right? But assuming he stays healthy, I think we'll be fine. I think we're going to win our division. And the defense is just so damn strong. We have no weak spots on our defense right now. So, but again, it depends on Cousins, that Achilles.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I mean, they're, and a lot of people don't know. They, on paper, I mean, again, they go off last year's records. Easiest schedule in the NFL.
Yes.
Easiest schedule.
And I'll take that. You know why? Because, let's say we have an easy schedule. We take care of our business. It's like we've talked about. Just get in the damn playoffs. That's all that matters. You get in the playoffs, you got momentum, and that's really what the goal is. Get into the playoffs, and if you get in there with momentum, then anything can happen. Just look at Detroit. If they make really good, if they make smart decisions in the second half of that, the game last year, the NFC champion, then they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I say it's just getting to the playoffs, and that's why I keep trying to tell people you just got to get in, and things have to go your way. Make no mistake about it. Luck has to be on your side a little bit. I mean, look at Philadelphia, and you could crack on them. You can say whatever you want. The year they lost to Kansas City, they played Daniel Jones in the second round, and they went up against, and they knocked him out. So fair is fair. They ended up going up against a running back that had to play quarterback. So
yes,
I mean,
that's right.
You create, I mean, and those are breaks. I mean, had Purdy not got hurt, San Francisco would have beat him. I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that, except an Eagle fan who's delusional. San Francisco was a better team that year. But not all the better teams don't always win. There's things that are going to happen. Turnovers can play a big part. All these different things that can, in one game, you got one shot. So that's all you ask for. So that leads me to Dallas. So Dallas, they're a lot of angst, a lot of anger. It's kind of subsided. I mean, I had a show on Saturday, and I just posed a question. Do you think the Cowboys are better since the beginning of offseason or worse? And most of them said they're better. And I would say on paper, now the game's not played on paper, but if you look on paper, I think the Cowboys are better. I think their defensive line, I said, let's just say is even. But I think it's a hair better. But let's just say it's even. I think it's better. Linebackers, clearly better. Secondary is better. Offensive line is better. Running back is even, or you can even say a little worse. I mean, I can't argue either way. Quarterback obviously is the same. It's the same guy. Receivers are better. I think Jalen Tolbert is going to be more of a spotlight for them. Jake Ferguson is going to be a huge part. So I think they're going to be better. The record may not show it. They may win 11 games. They may win 10 games. The record may not show it, but I think they're going to be a better team. But nobody cares until the playoffs.
So that's right. Now, I wanted to take a half a step back to the Eagles. Again, Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, overrated. Secondly, they got Barkley. Barkley's already hurt.
He's already hurt.
Already hurt.
Already
hurt. So now to the Cowboys, Dak not signed. A lot of people here think he's going to be signed before the first game. Let's say they don't sign him. Think about it. Now he's playing for a contract. So not only is he playing to win and playing to win a championship, he was playing for a contract. So that could be, in a way, in a crazy way, in your favor. In the Cowboys' favor. He wants to cash in, whether it's with the Cowboys at the end of the season or on the market. So that could work out in your favor.
Yeah. Is that really? Does he have disc issues, or is Ultra being funny? Does he have back issues?
Who's that? Where?
Barkley. Or is he being funny?
Blue tent. No, I think it's knee or foot, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I was
going to say, if he's got back problems, you might as well hang it up, because that shit is not.
Better go to the chiropractor.
Yeah, you better get old Mandela over there and get
Exactly. He's still around.
I found him. I don't want to get all personal, but I did find him. He's actually in like the Midwest somewhere. He's a doctor. It's like a surgeon or something.
Wait, Ultra's saying it's legitimate that there was.
Wow. Do we have to get two sources for that, or can we report it?
I got to look at this. I know it was his knee or his foot. Let's see.
Well, that is not good for the men who paid all that money for him. That is yeah. And I was one number away from being a multimillionaire in the lottery. And what did that get me, Carl? A flag away. You were a fumble away. Your own quarterback fumbling with no one touching him away from winning. What are you talking about?
Hey, Cuts has a great point. You got to hit up them Sods parlor for back problems.
Well, yeah. I mean, that'll help. I mean,
yes, it will.
And the Cowboys caught a little break that Nick Chubb is going to be, which we figured he was going to be out, but he's not going to be in the game when the Cowboys open up at Cleveland. So that's good.
And just so we report things, we break things here on the Cowboys cave. It this time it's his back.
Wow.
Lower back.
A lower back.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy. Those Eagle fans, wait, do I hear something? Are they jumping off the bridges yet?
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be the end. I mean, that won't go good for them. And I mean that jokingly, that won't go good for them. I saw some teams trimming the roster, and I didn't really see any moves. I don't know in the chat if you guys saw anything. I saw some old Cowboys. My son is going to be crushed. Kelvin Joseph he was telling me how great of a preseason he was having. He got cut. Randy Gregory, which we assumed
got
cut.
Did he even show up?
There was another guy that the Cowboys were the fans. It's what I say is you always see these training camp guys and everyone's like Bradley and I, he's going to make the team. He got cut on the team that he ended up being on. So, I mean, I didn't see anything crazy. I don't know if you guys in the chat saw anything with anyone getting cut that could be of help to the Cowboys or the Falcons, since Jimmy's on the show. Is there anyone out there that's worth the Cowboys taking a look at? Any young prospects?
You remember when Drago got cut? That was kind of big. But no, did Randy Gregory? Did he even show up? I heard he didn't even show up.
He said he just didn't. He wasn't feeling it. He just,
he didn't feel like it.
He said that, he lives in, he was in Tampa. The fishing's good. The weather's good. The beaches are great. I mean, you got to get what do you want to do? You want to sit on a football field all day, or would you rather go out and hang out with a lovely lady to your left and another to your right? You know what I mean?
Miller Lite's so cold.
But I was scanning through. And I just really didn't. I'm looking for running back. I'm looking to see, is there any running backs? Is there anyone that maybe a little diamond in the rough that might be falling through the cracks for us? I really didn't see anything. My man Philip Dorsett from the Broncos, from the U, of course, in college, he ended up getting cut. But he's, he never lived up to the hype, unfortunately. And really with the Cowboys, there was no surprises. Billy Johnson got cut. Nathaniel Pete, he'll probably be like a practice squad guy. Cam Johnson, Durden, a lot of receivers. Fiocco, which I think we saw that last game. He definitely, I don't think he could play in the NFL. Willie Harvey, who kind of some people were high on. They thought maybe he had a shot. Damian Wilson, veteran linebacker. My man Shedrick Redwine from the U got cut from Dallas. Eric Scott, one of the draft picks they had last year, he got cut. Maybe he's a guy they bring back in the practice squad, things like that. But nothing really surprising. Will Greer, former Cowboy, got cut by the Eagles, and that is pretty much it. I'm scrolling through. Malik Jefferson, who was on the Cowboys, he got cut. I'm just not seeing anyone of any importance. It looks like the Falcons, you guys didn't. Bradley and he was on your team. You guys are the ones who cut him. I guess he was worth anything.
Hey, see, SoCal's talking about a good prospect.
Who's that?
Vive le Canada.
Vive le Quebec.
See, somebody from the Alouettes. They have a good running back.
Oh, the Alouettes?
Yeah, these Alouettes.
Is that Lex Luger?
Yes. Lex Luger plays for that minor league team up in Montreal.
Minor league. What are you bringing up that minor league? Oh, Redwine signed by the Commanders. Well, good for him, man. I'd love to see some guys from the U getting a shot. You always got to have some Canes. My man Muhammad, he's the only Cane, and he got suspended. I guess he's got to serve a game suspension for something that happened last year, but that goes along with being a Cane. That's just what happens. So, what did he say? Wouldn't be shocked. What?
Wouldn't be shocked if the Texas done
Damian Pierce. There's going to be some interesting guys. I think you look at the Dolphins, you look at the Jets, even the Texans a little bit. You can look at some of these. There's going to be some running backs. They can't keep them all. They're going to have to put some out there. Now, for you to pick them up, I mean, you got to put them on your, you got to claim them on your roster. So that's the thing. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's been no big, as far as people getting cut. There's been no big wow.
Remember used to have that big contract. Oh, the guy cut dump salary and they cut him. There really hasn't been that. And I don't know if you're going to see that this offseason. I think what you got is pretty much what you're going to get.
Yeah, and it's funny because we actually, and his name escapes me, we brought in a guy from the CFL. He played a couple of preseason games for us, and we cut him. He ended up signing the biggest contract in CFL history last week. I mean, I don't know what he's making, but it's.
You know his name? Because it's not
slipped my mind.
Because Dallas had a guy that was he was out there, but. Yeah, I mean it's just a different game though. It's definitely
no. Well, yeah, you don't. I mean, up there you got the receivers in motion. The field is wider. You got 10 extra yards in the end. It's a different animal.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't want to see Saquon Barkley. I hope he's healthy. I never want to see a player,
no,
get injured or anything like that. All kidding aside, but that's the trouble with these running backs. And I mean, you could say what you want about Zeke. But he's durable. I mean, he plays through injuries. I mean, he plays. He doesn't miss a lot of games. So you're going to get consistency out of him. And maybe it's only going to be 60, 70 yards, 50 yards, whatever the touches he's going to get. It's going to be running back by committee. But I tell you what, I mean, inside the 5 and third and short, there's not many running backs that I would rather have than Zeke. So
how is he coming out of the backfield?
Oh, he catches a lot out of the backfield. Yeah. He just, he ran, he got an 80-yard screen pass in New England and took it to the house. So, I mean, he still can be fast enough. He just doesn't have the breakaway speed that he had in his heyday, you know. And you know, he has a lot of miles on them legs, man. In college, I mean, the numbers he put up in college were huge. His first 4 years in Dallas, I mean, you know, leading the NFL and rushing, you know, a few times there, and just he was a workhorse. I mean, he was a workhorse, and it takes a toll on your body. And you know, we had Preston Pearson on, and we're talking about, I mean, the players today are just huge, and they're just as fast. I mean, you see that clip Aaron Donald raced LaShawn McCoy?
Yeah.
And he beat
crazy.
And he beat him.
Yes.
I mean, that's a defensive tackle. And I know McCoy's been retired and all that, but still,
doesn't matter.
Defensive tackle going up against a running back. I mean, it is, and so the collisions that these guys get are just absolutely, I mean, it's like a car crash. And your body can only take so much. I mean, it can only take so much. So, you know, these running backs, that's why you see these teams, they're not paying running backs
Not
except
like they used to.
Unless you're the Eagles, you're not paying running backs $12+ million a year. I mean, just not going to do it.
Hey, Drew Fisher, go boys. Turf Monster gets him occasionally, surprisingly, since he leaped. Hey, do us a favor, and we ask everybody, if you're on X, jump over to YouTube.
Thank you, Jimmy.
This
I
is where
I didn't want to be mean to Drew.
No, Drew's awesome. No, what I'm saying, jump over to YouTube. That's where the fun is. The comment section is priceless. You'll love it.
Yeah, and it supports the channel. The best way to support that, if all you guys on, and there's a couple hundred yet over on X, and I know, and definitely appreciate it. That's why you want to watch it. I really don't care, but I will say, if you head over to YouTube, that's the way you can support the channel, is subscribing on YouTube and watching on YouTube. That helps us out. It helps get some monetization so we can reinvest into the channel with all the software and everything else that we need. So that's what you need to do. And Cuts, thank you so much. It arrived in one piece. Where's it at?
Cut.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. I got Cuts. I got to give a lot of thanks. He got me I don't have it in yet. I got my Miami Hurricane Funko Pop, and he got Kevin Williams, 2-time national champion, 2-time Super Bowl champion, the Dallas Cowboys. He got my Funko Pop signed, and he also got another picture of Kevin Williams signed. You know, the funny thing is, I never opened the picture to see the other thing that he got me, which was Everson Walls on this piece. I'm going to go get it. Would you mind, Jimmy? Do you mind if I go get it?
Go ahead and get it. And Cuts, while Mike's gone, I'm going to hype you up. And you know, for my wife's birthday back in February, Cuts made a beautiful, I sent him a family Polaroid, and he made a beautiful cut, you know, surprised my wife. She loved it. It's hanging in a prominent location here in the house. So yeah, Cuts is the man. We love him. Can't wait to see him down at the tailgate, September 22nd down at AT&T.
You got to, I want to thank people.
Of course.
So I've been working on this piece, and it's all these Cowboys. And I'm missing two. I'm missing DeMarcus Ware, and I'm missing Everson Walls. And my man Cuts went up, and he got Everson Walls was doing a signing by him, and he went ahead and got that. And then he got me one of my favorite pictures, is my man from the U sliding. And anyone who remembers that back in the day, the Dolphins game, the snow game.
Remember that?
Kevin Williams returned the punt, and he slid and held the ball for like 5 yards. And I said you could have that because I have it. This is the second one I have. I was actually going to do a giveaway for one of them because I didn't know I had it. And I looked at my thing. I was like, there it is. So I want to give a lot of thanks to Cuts. And you guys who don't have a cut, you need to go give Cuts by Jones a holler. You see the U behind me? That's centered. I don't want to hear no bitching no more. It's centered. You got the name tag. Jimmy's got the name tag. We got the pictures. We got the one behind us he did for the family, Jimmy's family and mine. So make sure you guys go get yourself a cut and get it right. So anyway, definitely appreciate. I wanted to make sure I give proper thanks. The only shitty part is I had some signed pictures. I don't know if you know Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rico
Uncle
from the
Rico.
yeah.
So I got some pictures signed by him, and my buddy had them, and he was bringing them over. He goes, "Hey, I threw them in your mailbox." Well, I didn't get home from work late. My wife's out of town, and I went to go get them, and I had my mail, and the mailman took them because he probably thought it was outgoing mail that was sent to the wrong address. So I lost my pictures. Hopefully they end up back at his house, but we'll see what happens. But anyway.
Yeah, but no, that sucks, man.
Yeah, and Ultra, I'm excited. I know if you're trying to get me riled up, if you're a Gator fan, much respect. I personally, I like to be optimistic, so I do think Miami's going to handle it. But if I'm being realistic, Miami should dominate them. Now, the wild card is first game of the year, like Uncle Cheech said. Swamp is not an easy place to play, but I'll say this. Miami is hotter than Florida in Gainesville. So the temperature is not going to be a factor. The heat is not going to be a factor. It's really Miami has a new quarterback, new running back, new this, new that. Are they going to be able to gel quickly against a hostile environment? Because Florida is one of the toughest places to play. Are they going to be able to shut the crowd down early and get them out of the game? If they do, I think Miami rolls. If not, it's going to be one of them games, one of them iconic Miami games. So we'll see.
You see these guys going back and forth, SoCal and Ultra and Carl.
I know, I love it. That's the thing I'll give Ultra, man. He's good. He's good when it comes. He's one of these guys that, I said it in one of my comments. I was like, or in the fantasy football draft, like, Kelly's kind of like my guy. Like, he says all the things I want to say. So if I get in a little beef on Twitter or on here, I just say, hey, Kelly, let me tie you in here. Can you just go ahead and take care of this guy? So, I can't say the things that I'd like to say.
Yeah.
I got a reputation in the community. I got to be careful.
He's a family man.
Yeah. And so Ultra's the same way. Ultra just goes, we send him in the chat to these Eagles and all these other guys. He handles it. We sit back and enjoy it. That's what we do.
Hey, and Cuts, I'm going to get to that in just a second, but I wanted to say, Ultra, did you see, first of all, two things about the Yankees? First of all, how about LeMahieu getting hurt in batting practice? That's some Yankees shit right there. You can't make it up. But what about yesterday? It was a day before yesterday, and the Yankees fans, we were cheering, for Juan Soto resigning him. And he said after the game, when the press asked him about it, he said, you got to talk to Cashman. That was his response in the press conference afterwards. So now I'm a little bit concerned.
Would you have a wild feed? You got a satellite dish?
Got the satellite dish. Yeah, I got the feed. So,
yeah.
But
comments. I knew nothing about this.
Yeah, this was earlier today. He succumbed to cancer. He was young, 64 years old.
Wow, he was one of my favorites.
He was great, man. Whether he was in WCW, WWF, whatever it was, man, he always played a really good character.
He did,
no matter how they played him. And he was just remember the time. I don't know if you had stopped watching wrestling at this point. It was a little bit late. It was like 99. He came off the top ropes and his leg broke. Like you could see it was his ankle went like that. It was, and I thought, you're like, holy shit. Like, did I just see that? There was no DVR back then. So you couldn't rewind it on the spot, but because they were they showed like 10 replays of it on Nitro. And he came back from that to wrestle again. And guy his size, that kind of weight. Can you imagine?
Oh God, no. And who was his son? Didn't he have a son who wrestled?
That I don't know. If somebody out there can
story with him, I watched anyway. Yeah, definitely sad. I don't know if it was on, the WWE Treasures. There was something with Sid Vicious, and I thought there was something his son was talking. I don't know. There was something about him. I'd have to go look at it again. But yeah, that's definitely sucks because he's a good dude. Hey, I love some midget wrestling. You remember the Haiti Kid and Haku?
Yes, the Haiti Kid.
And Little Beaver. remember when King Kong Bundy gave him this Little Beaver the splash?
Yeah.
I mean, there's beaver everywhere.
if you
That's
go,
his son was on Big Brother. Thank you, Rick.
Oh, is that what it was?
I wish I had two of them jokers. That's what it was. Because I watched Big Brother. Rick, thank you. Because I would have been getting all pissed off all night trying to remember it. He was actually very good on Big Brother. He was one of my favorite guys on there. So.
You got to watch. There's this micro championship wrestling. I'm not going to say I watch it, but I'm on Instagram. I'm like I subscribe to it or whatever, like it. So it'll come through every so often. It's pretty entertaining. Micro championship.
I have to look at
wrestling.
They had it was so Frank. That's it, Frank. Yes, his son was on Big Brother. Do you remember that? Because you used to watch Big Brother.
No, you know what? I watch The Amazing Race. My wife watches Big Brother.
I didn't
religiously. Yeah,
she would remember. This is a good season of Big Brother. I don't know if anyone watches it.
Oh, I'm on the periphery.
Back to like all the stuff that we like, right? A lot of the drama, a lot of the fight, and a lot of shenanigans and backstabbing, and it's not so PC. It's definitely much better.
Well, you know what it is? I remember the first couple, and I'm on the periphery because I'll be watching the games or I'll be on X or whatever, listening to you and Kelly or you and Greg or whatever. And I'll be in the periphery and I'll be, she'll have it on TV. I know the first couple weeks that Angela lady was causing all sorts of trouble. And I guess now she's the underdog. I heard the people root for her.
Well, that's the thing. I don't understand how that happened. Now, Rick, are you a Tucker fan? Are you a Tucker fan or are you on the other side? Because this guy Tucker, this guy, that's a good show too. This guy Tucker, he plays a very aggressive game, and it's paying off for him. I like him. My wife hated him in the beginning, but now he's one of those guys we're rooting for. So Rick doesn't like him. So who's your favorite? Who are you pulling for in there? I'm just curious.
Yeah, and like the one dude who was like from Boston, I think he was a retired police officer or something. He kind of just wanted to go home, is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, and the challenge. Cuts, are you saying you like the challenge because of my picture with Mariah, or are you liking the challenge? That's what I haven't figured out yet. And it was so funny. I posted I met her in Vegas, and I posted, and all of a sudden I see all these guys from my channel are following Mariah on Instagram. I'm like, hey man, but it's good for her. It's good, and I think she's on Twitter too. But yeah, she posts some. I mean, I give her credit. She works hard. She definitely works hard. So. Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Both.
We got to keep that on the lowdown.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. We won't do that. Challenge is great. You met Cara Maria? She's one of my favorites too. I like all those shows. This season is really good. They took the decades of every season, like the season 1 to 10, 11 to 20, like each different decade. And they're having this big challenge. Say, Cara Maria is one of my favorites. She's definitely one of my favorites. I root for.
See, it's tough because the wife will watch that on. I know it's on Wednesday nights at 8. The problem is 8:00 Wednesdays. I got AEW wrestling.
Yeah,
so I can't do. But live.
You just gotta watch the reruns. You watch you tape it or whatever you watch.
Or she tells me the gossip.
Or
out on Thursday.
That's the thing. You can the thing with Big Brother, you can find everything you want online, and then really Thursday's the only time you really need to watch it because it's live. But they did some twists now to it that's made it better. So it's definitely, it was getting a little stale. I gave up the last 2 or 3 seasons. This year they kind of won me back. I watched an episode and then I got kind of sucked back into it.
Now we'll talk about this another time. But you and I got to get that Amazing Race thing going. We got to get the tape in.
Got to get the tape.
Get that show.
I'm out to the point where I can do it. I'm at the point mentally I can get that thing going right. So we'll definitely.
Watch Big Brother and a challenge at the same time.
At the same time, I gotta focus. I gotta focus. But no, anything else, Jimmy? We've been going for an hour and a half, man.
Well, you know what? It's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
The interview section or the comment section has been great. Uncle Cheech, as always. Hey, look, man, you guys, Uncle Cheech, he's the reason why I was able, like I said, to pay the rent, last season and take my wife out to the finest restaurants in town, the best bottles of champagne and wine, all because Uncle Cheech's picks. You got to listen to what the man has to say.
And my man Moose is already in the running. Like I said, all you guys had to do was say lock. You just had to type lock and you're entered in. So Moose won the drawing. So he is in the running. As long as Georgia wins, he's got an opportunity to get a share of the pot. It could max out at $1,700, whatever it ends up being. I've got it on the app. We're going to do a running total every week. I'll put what we've won. Sometimes it could be more, sometimes it could be less, but we'll put what we've won, and we'll take it from there and see what happens.
It's Rhea cuts on there tonight. So this is Rhea, by the way.
Oh,
Mrs. Cuts.
Mrs. Cuts.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
now I gotta be nice. You better be nice to be sleeping out in the streets during the Ravens game.
Exactly.
You better be nice.
So wait a minute. So Ultra, hit the like button to support Carl's one Super Bowl.
Yes, everybody hit that like button. If you believe, if you want to give Carl some love because he's had one Super Bowl to enjoy in his lifetime, hit that like button. Show us how much you like it. So, and you know, we've had, most of us have had 3. If you're my man Greg, you've seen 5 Super Bowls, so you're a little spoiled. Greg is the spoiled one of the bunch. I've been able to enjoy 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime. Definitely need to see some more, but I definitely wouldn't be satisfied with just 1 Super Bowl. But Eagle fans are satisfied with 1. They're going to hold on to that ring till the day they die, and they don't care for another one. So we will see what happens.
So let's confirm with SoCal here.
What?
He's asking, so if they lose, are all the folks out the rest of the year?
I don't know who all the folks are because Moose is the only one.
No, in other words, moving forward week to week.
That's it. There's no more other folks. It's over. That's it. It's over. Got to win. You got to win.
It's all over.
This is a winning league. This is a winning prize. I'm not going to keep shelling out money if Uncle Cheech is costing it for me. I got faith in Cheech. I know if he says it, I got to put it in the books. He's going to win more than he loses. So.
Uncle Cheech not only said it all, he's done it all.
Done it all.
And again, the man is spot on. Go back to the tapes last year and you'll see.
Yeah.
His record last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, so anyway, it's awesome. Guys, we are going to get out of here. I'm heading down to do a little work down in South Florida. I've been down there like all the time working. I don't know what the hell's going on. To work hard, but we got some things that we're working on. So I'll be heading down to South Florida. Should be back Wednesday. Kelly and I are Wednesday. Thursday night, Thomas Hollywood Henderson is scheduled to be in the cave. We will get that locked in on Wednesday to make sure we're still confirmed. But as far as today, we are good to go. So definitely check that out. If you missed Preston Pearson, I'm telling you, that was a fun interview. His response when I played him, my man JT Thomas, what he said about that look in their eyes, and he called out his name. He was not taking it too kindly. It was a lot of fun. So you guys check it out. Have a great evening, good week. Cowboys got CeeDee Lamb back. That is all done, and we don't have to worry about no drama. Now we go to that season looking forward and getting ready to handle that business. So we will see you guys. Let me get this thing right. I forgot I got to switch this over. You guys take care. We'll see you.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.